The first Grand Sport X's have officially been built, and somehow this car is one of the most hyped and sought after Corvettes we've seen in a really long time. But there's something about the Grand Sport X that makes absolutely no sense to me, because just 1 year ago, Chevrolet was struggling to move another all-wheel drive hybrid Corvette off dealer lots. But now, people are getting on lists, fighting for allocations, and in some cases will probably end up paying markups to essentially get the evolution of the same car, in my opinion. But it gets a little more interesting because the Grand Sport X starts at around $112,000, while the 2027 Z06 starts at around $121,000. That's less than a $10,000 difference between two very different but desirable Corvettes. So now that the Grand Sport X production has officially begun, I want to answer 3 questions in this video. Why is the Grand Sport X succeeding, whereas the E-Ray completely failed? How many of the Grand Sport is Chevrolet actually going to end up building by the end of the year? And the biggest question of all, would you buy a Grand Sport X over a Z06? Before we do get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It does go a long way. I make a new video every single Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. So if you're into car content in general, specifically Corvette content, turn on that notification bell so you can be notified anytime I make a new video. Let's get into it. So let's just start with the news. The Grand Sport X is no longer something that we're just seeing on Chevy's website or at auto shows. It is real. Customers' production has actually begun. According to Roger Keel's CA production tracker, the first batch of Grand Sport X's came off the line in early August, and the ramp up has been relatively quick. As of August 19th, you can see that the Roger Keel tracker shows 64 Grand Sport X's already produced. Now, 64 cars doesn't sound like a huge number, but when you kind of zoom out and look what's happening with the Grand Sport production as a whole, things get interesting. As of August 19th, there has been 1,960 Grand Sports produced. Like I mentioned, 64 Grand Sport X's and 2,264 Stingrays. So think about that. I know we're early into the 2027 model year, but Chevrolet has produced almost as many Grand Sports as they have Stingrays. And if you think that's normal, it's not. And I'm going to put it into perspective and into context by looking at the C7 Corvette. In 2019, the final year of C7 production, Grand Sports accounted for 32.3% of all Corvettes produced, according to Vet Views magazine. And if you remember, the C7 Grand Sport was an extremely popular car, very well liked, and I think the Grand Sport in general has been just the perfect middle ground between that base model Corvette and the Z06. Offers you that engine that comes in the base model, but then it gives you the wider body, more aggressive look, wider tires, bigger brakes that would come with the Z06. It makes for the perfect car for daily driving. And certainly people continue to feel that way with the C8 Grand Sport as well, because if you look at what's happening, if the Grand Sport production continues at its current pace, the C8 Grand Sport could absolutely destroy that percentage when looking at that 2019 model year, just as an example. So now that the Grand Sport X has entered the production fray, and then you combine that with the base Grand Sport production, I think it tells us something very important if you're considering buying one of these cars, and that's just not to panic. When the C8 Grand Sport first came out, we saw dealers asking for markups. Even now, a lot of dealers are asking for a few $1,000s over sticker price, and there was one article that I touched on in one of my previous videos that the Corvette blogger talked about, where the Mark Wahlberg Chevrolet was putting a $25,000 premium on top of the sticker price for a Grand Sport. So people being worried about allocations and just wanting to be first, you can see that just a short time later, you can find one of these Grand Sports for MSRP without looking too hard. The reason I mention that is because if Chevrolet continues to produce these cars at this rate, I'm referring to the Grand Sport X, I'd be careful about paying anything extra on top of the sticker price for a Grand Sport X, because we just keep seeing it over and over again with the C8 Corvette. So just keep that in mind. Now I want to compare the E-Ray to the Grand Sport X, because that's where things get super interesting to me, because when you compare the E-Ray to the Grand Sport X, I think they're very similar cars, and everyone's obsessed with the Grand Sport X, but where was all this love for the E-Ray? The E-Ray is an all-wheel drive hybrid Corvette that uses the base model's engine and adds electric motors, and then the Grand Sport X is an all-wheel drive hybrid Corvette that uses the Stingray's engine and adds electric motors. So obviously they're not identical cars. They've got different engines, because for the 2027 model year, they're using a new engine, the 6.7 liter, and they're putting that same engine in the Grand Sport, but the formula is similar. All of the E-Rays use the Stingray 6.2 liter LT2 V8 with electric front motors. That produces 655 horsepower. And by the end of the 2026 model year, by example, people were not kicking down the doors trying to get these cars from dealerships. In fact, according to a Corvette blogger article that references the Roger Keel's unofficial production numbers for the 2026 model year, Chevrolet built 1,177 E-Rays. 4.7% of total 2026 Corvette production, roughly, was for the E-Ray. And like I said, towards the end of the year, these cars were being discounted by dealers, and we were getting incentives from GM for consumers to buy this car. Now compare that reaction to the Grand Sport X. Like I said, I know it has a 6.7 liter LS6 V8 now. That makes 535 horsepower. You add in the electric motors, 721 total horsepower. Not too much more than the E-Ray, but definitely a considerable number. The Grand Sport X is more powerful. It's faster. It has the newer engine. It would be a better performing car, but would the slightly better performance be enough to explain the massive difference in excitement? I definitely don't think it is. And I believe the difference 100% has to do with the name of the car, not so much the car itself. The name E-Ray was completely new, and it did not have this decades-long history associated with it like the Grand Sport did. So whether it was fair or not, I think Corvette consumers heard the E in the E-Ray name, didn't know what it was, and just assumed it was some hybrid piece of garbage, and they didn't want anything to do with it. But then you take the name Grand Sport, add an X to it, and consumers feel like they're getting a premium version of a car that they already knew and loved. The name Grand Sport actually means something to Corvette people, and it's one of the most recognizable names in Corvette history, as I said. And instead of positioning this as some weird electrified version of the Corvette that would sit off to the side as an alternative in the Corvette lineup, it's now being promoted, and probably rightfully so, as the next level of Grand Sport. So I don't think this concept or idea suddenly became cool. I just think the way that GM and Chevrolet have packaged it, that is what has changed buyers' perspective on this car. But the next thing I want to talk about is, if you are going out and spending money on the Grand Sport X, there's another Corvette that you can buy in the C8 lineup that is very similar in price. The 2027 Grand Sport X starts at about $112,000, and the Z06 starts at roughly $121,000. So a $9,000 difference between these two starting price of the cars. I think that is not something to ignore. They're very similarly priced, and when you're paying over $100,000, and you're not going into ZR1 territory just yet, I think these two cars, that's the real battle that consumers are going to have to pick between when going to buy their next Corvette, if it's in this price range. So they're definitely completely different cars. I think the GSX gives you 721 combined horsepower. It's all-wheel drive. It's got that electric torque. If you guys have been in a Tesla or other electric performance cars, you guys know that torque feels very different than a lot of different other cars. Maybe it's just the fact that you're not getting any sound or whatever it is, but you're definitely getting incredible performance out of that car. But the Z06 is going to give you 670 horsepower. It's rear-wheel drive, as we know. The most important thing is that it has that 5.5 liter flat plane crank LT6 engine, and that's one of the most special engines Chevrolet has ever put into a Corvette. So it's a pretty strange buying decision just because they're two totally different cars. I completely understand somebody choosing the Grand Sport X, but for me, I think the Z06 would be the way to go if I was picking between these two cars. If I'm buying a C8 Corvette and I want the latest and greatest, instead of going with an older model, an older generation, something that would be more considered a true Corvette, I probably want to pick the car of the latest and greatest that would resemble the most pure Corvette. And I think if you look at the Z06 and what that stands for and what you're getting, and you compare that to the Grand Sport X, I would say that that would be, quote unquote, a more pure Corvette experience. But at the same time, it's also different than what we've had in past generations. I'm not sure that really matters much. Part of that comparison is going to be the price, as I mentioned, and I'm very curious, at least for the first few months, what the Grand Sport X market is going to look like, assuming you're not getting on a list and you don't have an allocation waiting for you. I haven't seen any Grand Sport X on the aftermarket just yet, so I'm curious where that's going to go. That gap where the Z06 costs a few $1,000s more might disappear and make it more intriguing for somebody if they don't want to wait to go with the Z06. So just to give you guys my final thoughts, I'm very happy and excited that GM has started to build these GSXs. It opens the door and opens questions for people that are considering buying one of these cars. Gives them more options. And I'm curious, are you one of the lucky 66 that are going to be expecting delivery of your GSX soon? Or are you waiting for an allocation? Or are you on a list? Or let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are, what you're planning on doing if you're in the market for one of these cars. Or are you staying away from it completely and opting for a Z06? I get curious about why there'd be so much interest in a GSX but not the E-Ray when both those cars are, derived from a similar concept. But that's just my opinion, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like I said, like and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.